Got YouTube, TikTok, Riverside. I think there's one more. We're going, oh, and LinkedIn. So we're going live on 5 different platforms this morning. This is a lot different for sure. Good morning and welcome into the room. How are we doing this morning? How's our energy level? How is our energy level? How we doing? How we doing? What's going on today, you guys? I wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about um, burnout, relationship burnout, work burnout, taking care of your family burnout, just burnout in general. It's so important for us to combat that excessive energy that we're pouring into everything and everyone else and give that just a little bit to yourself. Don't you guys feel better when you go for a walk or you engage in some sort of action to support yourself versus resonating in that really low frequency where your vibration's low and you're just barely coasting or barely holding on? I know what that's like, and you don't have to stay there. And everyone always says, Carrie, that is so much easier said than done. And I'm like, you better believe it, right? You better believe it, because anything that we want in this world, it's hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes discipline. And if you can establish some discipline in your life, man, things will get so much easier for you. And people say, Coach, hey, that's way harder. You make it just sound so easy. And I get it. I get it. But everything that we want is on the other side of the hard stuff, right? It's on the other side of the practice. It's on the other side of you showing up for your life. Because if you don't show up for your life, who's going to show up for you? How can you expect others to show up if you don't even show up for yourself? I can remember when I was in active addiction and I was really, really struggling. And this was in, between 2005 and 2019. I had many years where I was in active addiction. My self worth and my self value were so low. I still showed up every day, but it was a constant battle and a constant fight and a constant struggle. And I've been there, so I know what it's like. And I know all of you out there, even if you're not experiencing it, you know someone that has. And it is truly one of the most difficult things that you can go through. And people say, well, why don't you choose differently? And those people, they can't make that choice. They would rather choose to throw away their entire career. I have a story for you. When I was going through my intensive outpatient program in 2019, um, I knew a person that was a surgeon, and he was at the top of his game. He had all the money in the world. He had the education. He had the beautiful wife. He had the vacation homes. He had it all. Guess what? He decided he would rather be consumed by his addiction than have any of those beautiful things. And people from the outside say, how could you do that? And it's because that disease is so, so, so powerful. Unless you've gone through it and made it through the other side, it's really hard to understand. So give grace to people that are in that active addiction. Be kind to them, show them love, show them through your actions how they can live their lives. But when it really comes down to it, if you have anybody in your life that is experiencing that, you just have to give them kindness, and you have to show them how to live their lives through you, and they have to decide. You can't decide for them. So I want to shift a little bit to pouring our energy into everything that's out there, right? We pour our energy into our job. We pour our energy into our family. We pour our energy into our friends. We pour our energy into our video games. We pour our energy into our social media. Will you be willing to pour some energy into yourself? Would you be willing to do that? And just make yourself a priority in the morning. And I'm sure some of you guys are like, Coach, I already do that. I get up and I exercise. I turn the radio and the news on and check my email while I'm working out and check my texts and all that. Hey, if you're pouring some intentional love, exercise, or spirituality or emotional work into yourself, do it in peace. Don't do it in pieces. And what I mean by that is, don't bring any kind of negative impact into your life in the morning for the first hour if you can do that. I know it can be challenging if you have a family and a spouse and all that stuff, but you can decide to do that if you want. You can get up earlier and then you say, oh, I can't get up early. I'm up late. I work. I do all this stuff. Well, great. If you want to keep resonating in a lower vibration, then keep doing what you're doing. If your life's great and you're happy, do what you're doing. But if you want more and you know that you can get out of this constant bombardment of negativity in your life, then reach out to me. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm a mindset coach and I help people learn to make themselves a priority and love themselves and make it a habit. Because when you fill your cup all the way to the top, all the way to the top, you will have so much more to give to everyone else. And I want you to have that energy for yourself and your family, because too often you guys have experienced this, and I've experienced it too. I pour all my love, all my effort, and all my energy into my family and into my friends. And then there's nothing left for you. And what does that bring when there's nothing else for you? Sadness, depression, makes you feel less than. And then you're in that lower vibrational state. And that can be normal sometimes, but you don't have to stay there. You really don't. If you intentionally pour energy, vitality, your spirituality into your life, and you do it every single day, you can start to really affect change. And what do I mean by affecting change? I mean that when you intentionally pour that love into your life, it allows you to raise your energy level and show up so that you can see all of the possibilities and all of the opportunities that are in front of you that you're not going to see if you're resonating in a low vibration. Hold on one second. I'm going to connect my mic up, get you guys a little bit better sound here. Uh, Sorry about that, guys. They did not like that when I put my mic in. So, experimenting with this new platform, Riverside, which I'm using for my podcast and allows me to stream to multiple platforms. So, if you guys are still here, I was just talking about that lower vibration state, and you don't have to stay in that state. And what I mean by a low vibration state is if you're in a victimhood state or you're just very, very barely making it through life and just coasting, like getting up, going to work, coming home, punching the clock, right? Watch some TV and do it all over again, right? And then it takes you all weekend to recover from your week. So I want you guys to find a job, a career that you absolutely love. If you're a younger person, find something that fills your heart and fills your soul that you love to do and create a job around that. Don't just succumb to something because your parents told you to or because a friend told you to. Do it because you want to. And if you have a job right now that you just absolutely do not enjoy, then keep getting that paycheck and figure out something else to do. All right. You can absolutely do that 100%. You do not have to stay in a job that does not serve you and is a toxic work environment. You really don't. There's been no better opportunity in the history of the world to start your own business, build your own brand. The future is going to be built off of personal brands. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone is talking about it. For instance, if you guys like Gary Vee, look up Gary Vee. He's an amazing person to follow. And also, what everyone is talking about is that right now, this world has so much going on, so much negativity, violence, um, homelessness, sickness, lack of resources. And it's coming, right? The negativity is everywhere and it impacts us. It impacts our well being, it impacts how we show up. And so, my fix for you and what has worked for me and other people that I've worked with is intentionally showing up every single morning for you. Fill your cup all the way to the top, right? All the way to the top so that you have so much love for yourself to give to other people. And when you do this, it will help you stay in the moment. It'll reduce the stress and the anxiety of your burnout, of your job, of your work, of the energy you don't have anymore. And I'm allowing you to learn how to save your energy and keep it for yourself. Who wants to do that? Raise your hand. Oh, I can't see you guys. So if that sounds good at all to you guys, you can reach out to me on any of my platforms. Send me a message. My email is caryschram@gmail.com, and that's CARYSCHRAM@gmail.com. And right now, I am giving away a small sliver of my process of 42 Days to Peace and Prosperity for free. I created a little PDF directions and a small video to go along with it to show you guys one way that you can wake up in the morning and invite love and gratitude and peace into your life and do something for yourself to raise your vibration. And my intention is that by giving that to you, you guys will get a glimpse into how I live my life and how the people live their lives that work with me. And I had the absolute pleasure of speaking with a friend of mine who is in Minneapolis. And I call him a friend, and he's doing my process right now. He's on day 37 of 42 days. And I can't wait to bring him on my TikTok live to show you guys his rapid increase in his life and him showing up for himself and making himself an experiment, uncovering his special purpose, right? Nurturing that seed that's in all of us that we want to have grow that we don't even know is there. I would have never known a number of years ago that I was going to have a podcast and I'd be going live helping people. I've always loved people, and God's always put on my heart that love to share. And it wasn't until really just about a year and a half or 2 years ago when this started to really expand and grow. And then it really didn't happen until I took myself through the process of 42 Days to Peace and Prosperity. And it allowed me to show up, raise my consciousness, raise my energy level, and make me realize that I am truly, truly in charge of my thoughts and my emotions, and no one else is responsible for that. No one, no one. Too often we're like, it's their fault and it's that person's fault, and they did this to me and they did that to me, and they stop all that bullshit. When you stop the excuses and you start showing up for yourself, watch how your life will change. And then people say, Coach, that's so easy. My life was this, my life was that. I had all these bad things happen to me. Guess what? Your sad story is no different than other people's sad story that have overcome and shown up and created the dream life that they want. They didn't succumb to the lies that they're telling themselves. They didn't succumb to the negativity. They made a choice to show up and live their life. And when they made that choice, what do you think they do? They work hard on themselves. They practice what they want. They realize that everything that they desire in this beautiful world is on the other side of the challenges, the hard stuff, the practice, the stuff that nobody wants to do. And I want to teach you how to show up for yourself and hold yourself accountable. And when you truly love yourself and you hold yourself accountable, that record that's going around and around and around and around in your head, and the stress and the anxiety, is going to slow down, because when you love yourself, you open your heart. When you open your heart, you can't be in your heart and your head at the same time. You know, you might want to debate me on that, and that's okay. But I don't believe you can. When you intentionally experience love and gratitude for yourself, you will be in the moment. You'll slow down. And all those worries that you have about things that most likely never even come true are going to slowly melt away. And then guess what? You get to spend your energy on things that serve you and your family and your friends, right? That's what you want. That is self enlightenment. Self enlightenment isn't just sitting like this on a cloud, right? Where everything's nothing and you're just full of bliss. Self enlightenment, in my opinion, and what I've experienced is being able to show up to all the challenges in this world, all the challenges and the beautiful parts equally. And you run towards them. Hey, there's a challenge. I'm running towards you. I'm going to kick your butt. And on the other side, that is exactly what I want. And that's where my joy, my happiness, and my peace is. Not running from that challenge the other direction and being like, nah, I don't want to deal with that because that's too hard. That's going to make me feel sad. I can tell you, when you deal with your challenges, your circumstances, and you decide the thoughts and emotions you're going to have around those circumstances, is a true transformational process. That's enlightenment. You enlightened unto yourself. And that's what people experience when they work with me. And my process of 42 days to peace and prosperity, it's not a one and done. This is a process you can use your whole life. It's a tool that you can come back to if you're struggling. I use this tool every single day, but it is a tool that's yours. It's yours. And if you guys want to know how to do it and you want to know more, just send me your email. And I'd be happy to send you my little tiny mini course process that I created a couple days ago, just to give you guys a little taste of what loving yourself, showing up for yourself, and being kind to yourself can do for you. Because this is not a selfish act. When you truly pour that intentional love and gratitude into your life, you'll become selfless, and you'll spread that love and that joy to all, everyone, everyone. You don't want to keep it to yourself. And when your energy level's up and you're loving yourself, people are going to take notice of you. Wow, your skin looks so clear. Wow, you look so happy. I see joy and happiness emanating from you. Can I have some? I take care of my father, and he's not financially well off enough to have his own apartment and pay for his medicines and everything. And my dad is not the most positive person in the world, and that's okay. But I got to tell you, his health, his spirituality, his emotional, and his physical all benefit from being around my positivity. And so he chooses to take some actions in his life. Maybe it's not all the actions that I want him to take, but he does. He takes action in his life, and he's loving himself more. So you get to impact not only your life, but everyone else's life around you. And it's a choice. And I'm so glad that I got to spend 20 minutes with you guys this morning. I've never done a stream like this where I just talk and there's no comments and there's no interaction. This is my first time on YouTube live. This is my first time on LinkedIn live. This is my first time on Riverside live. And this is pretty much my first time live on Facebook as well. So I do go live 5 days a week on TikTok. You'll find me there at Coach Carey and the number 3. And I really look forward to doing some more of this. And I would love some feedback. Again, my email is CARYSC at msn.com. Again, my email is carrystram at msn.com. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Joe?